video on using the poppy seeds that I collected a few weeks a few weeks ago. So I collected some poppy seeds, the wild poppy seeds, and I just kind of thought, while I could get my hands on some, I would collect them, and then use them in something. And now the time has come to use them in something. So I'm going to make a poppy seed cake. However, before we get into that, I just knocked all the from the poppy heads, knocked all the seeds out of them, and then there's a little bit of debris from the poppy seed heads as well. So like some little bits, so we can kind of see there's just a few bits of stalk in there and all that kind of stuff. But I've sieved those out, and then I put it on a tray, and I sieved it onto the tray. So I used just a sieve that it passed through, so not like a fine one. So it's just like a sieve that like the poppy seeds had kind of passed through. So it's like that one. And then as I was taking the seeds from the tray and putting them in the jar, I noticed that the ridges on this tray, I don't know if you can see, it's got some ridges on it. So it's got some ridges on it. Was collecting like a fine dust as well from the poppy seeds. So it's obviously not just poppy seeds. There's dust in there as well. So I've shaken it like you would do if you were panning for gold, and all the dust went down to the bottom of the seeds, and then so that's all collected out. So that's just all bits of dust and dirt and things. That's not poppy seeds. So if you are going to collect some poppy seeds, you need to sieve out the main, if there's any kind of bits of debris, and then you kind of just need to shake it so all the dust and things goes down to the bottom of the poppy seeds. But anyway, so that's that. But so it kind of worked on a ridge tray, which actually coincides with something I was watching about collecting iron from sand, and someone used a roofing tile that he'd scratched grooves into, and because the iron was heavier than the sand, the silicate in the sand, it collected in the grooves, and that's how he collected the iron first. It's a primitive technology thing. I don't know why it popped up on YouTube, but it did. But it's kind of quite interesting. So those are the poppy seeds with all the bits sieved out of them. And then I've done a cake mixture. So it's a 3-egg cake mixture. So it was 6 ounces of butter, 6 ounces of sugar, 6 ounces of self-raising flour, and 3 eggs, because that's the size that go best in that loaf tin. I put the measurements on, and then did a bit of research, and it said 4 teaspoons worth of poppy seeds per egg, and I kind of thought that was a little bit too much. So I've done half that amount, so it's 6 teaspoons, which is about an ounce of poppy seeds. I can always add more, very difficult to kind of take it out. I suppose I'm really should taste them. Now I collected some wild ones, but they didn't. Oh yeah, okay. There's more of a flavour to that, and I think probably the sieving out of that fine dust and the other kind of particles in there has changed the kind of flavour of it. So it does taste a lot more like poppy seeds now. So anyway, so let's put that in there. See, that looks about right, does that? And then let's give it a mix. Give it a mix with a spoon, and then we'll kind of see if that's kind of the right kind of ratio. No, that looks about right, doesn't it? That looks about right. I suppose you kind of want the right amount of. It's easy and see yeah, that looks about right, does that? I think double that amount in would just be too much. So that out of the way, that out of the way, and then we'll kind of see how it tastes. I suppose I really should make one that's got bought poppy seeds in, and kind of, is it kind of worth it? But I didn't think of doing that. It's not. There is thought before I do things. I sometimes just like to get on with things rather than just faffing about. You know. I don't know if I should have dusted them in flour beforehand. I don't know if they're going to sink to the bottom. I think they'll be light enough that they're not going to sink to the bottom of the cake, but we'll see. And then oven 180 degrees, and fan on until it's cooked, and then we'll let it cool down, and we'll kind of see what happens. If it all falls down to the bottom, I'm not really kind of bothered, because then we'll be able to kind of see. It's more about seeing what they taste like after they're cooked. In the same way that you kind of with spices you toast them to bring out extra flavour. I wonder if it's the same for seeds as well. Yes, because always a ground nut. I can't remember. But like if you take nuts and you roast them, you get more flavour out of the nuts, don't you? So releasing all the natural oils and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm waffling. And we should just be putting the cake in the oven. So in the oven, 180 degrees, half an hour, something like that. But we'll see when it's ready. Let's have a look. Well, that's alright, isn't it? It's got a nice crack to it. A bit like a banana loaf. So, smells good. Smells good. So we'll let it cool and see how it is. Hopefully it won't drop. Right, poppy cake. Let's have a look. Looks like it's got plenty of poppies in. Well, poppy seeds. They're not poppies, are they? Shrunk a little bit, but they always tend to a little. Don't think we need to. We're going to cut it. Wash it up. So, I mean, half. No, we'll just do the end. We'll just do the end. If you cut a cake in half, it tends to want to dry it out, but there's loads of what we call it. There's loads of poppies. Yes, I was right in using half the amount of poppy seeds in that. So certainly an ounce of poppy seeds for 3 eggs is about right. So what would that be? 2 teaspoons per egg, if you think about it that way. I don't need too much of it. I've eaten too much already today. You know, cooking the poppies has brought out the flavour of the poppy seeds. So there we go. That's a success. So you can, if you've got wild poppies near you, or poppies growing in someone's garden, you can collect the seeds. You just need to sieve them to get rid of the excess debris, and then shake them just to get that dust out of them. But then you've got poppies, and it saves you buying them. It's wonderful, that, isn't it? You know, it's like a winner for me if you can get something for free, and then you don't have to buy something. You use it in cakes, use it in bread, anything you like.